Good morning, comrades. This is early chat. Post early watch. Shut down early. What's going on?
You giving out free bacon?
No, because I can't get Mexico to pay for it.
What's better, Dow 20,000 or free bacon?
Dow 20,000 by all means.
I don't know how long it's going to stay up there, though.
Oh, that's as good as that camera's going to get. That talking hand. Look, I'm doing an impression of G-Webs. Yeah, I missed out on hit or miss last night because I had to go collect my dog's ashes. It came in like this really ornate urn, not like the first time. I thought it was like a box of Chinese tea at first until I read the inscriptions.
Oh, your dog passed away?
Yeah, on the 10th. Took them this long to get it taken care of. They did like an impression of his foot and they made that really nice box. And all the girls at the office were crying when I came and picked it up. And then my dad wanted to drink. He said he needed a drink, so we went out. Pounded wild turkeys all night. It was great.
What the hell is that? A something duplicator?
Yeah, this one just does...
Band duplicator?
This one does CDs and DVDs, but it's the smallest one we make. A lot of non-committal people will buy this one just because it's like a little desktop appliance type thing for just quick copies or whatever.
Does it bypass the copy protection or something?
No. There's a gentleman's agreement with the manufacturers of the controller here that it seeks out CCNS encoding. So the government allows these to be made and built and distributed because we made the agreement to seek out that coding. Now, to say that there's not ways around that, in the creation of the distributed copy, that's one thing, but that has nothing to do with my machines. So, it's kind of a use at your own peril if you're going to do something like that. Yep. Yeah, I help the warehouse guy build these when he has too many orders. It just gives me something to do, keeps my hands busy, and gets me off in front of the screen. I like the guys that come in and ask me to build them custom computers, though. That's a little bit more fun. I had a guy come in the other day like that. He said, hey, what can you build me? Or what would you build yourself if money was no object? So I started just making a list. And he was like, all right, build me that. So $5,000 later, he had a pretty badass machine.
Well, my Baofeng radio is supposed to be here tomorrow. Finally.
Awesome.
Handheld.
The new headlights for my BMW should be in today. It's good. Already had to explain to 2 officers that I can't just pop a bulb in, as they said, because it has a bad ballast. So I'm like, do the parts, dude. I bought an aftermarket kit. I'll draft it in when I get home. But yeah, I'm digging this Dow 20K thing. I mean, I'm so sure liberals are going to scream that the executive orders to build the pipeline and build it in America and all this other stuff is going to have nothing to do with that. But you know.
And what Trump could do to pay for the wall, he says, that's okay. What we're going to do is I'm just going to have the Treasury short the peso.
I just don't understand.
And then we'll buy your country. And then we'll buy your country.
They're going to take Mexico and flip this country. Little paint, little spackle. Sell it to Argentina. This one's actually a paid order.
And
so I'm having to balance some finances this month because I still have to pay the deductible on my car insurance for the body work I'm getting done on my Fiat, which still isn't done. They finished the body work. It's just the airbag sensors were special order. So basically, they admitted they broke one.
I don't know. These markets are so manipulated. It's just crazy.
Well, it's Chicken Littleism at its finest. It's speculator-driven, paranoia-driven.
Well, I don't know.
Or good news driven.
It's JP Morgan driven. It's like the speculators get on there and they just get butt fucked every time. You know, as soon as there are enough stop loss orders, you know, JP Morgan will come in and you know, destroy everyone.
Yeah, it's what they do, man. It's like this morning, the news was all cheerful. They were like, "Oh yeah, it finally broke 20,000. It looks pretty solid." And then the first person that they had on was a speculator, and she was like, "Just because it broke 20,000 doesn't mean everyone should just jump in and start investing. You know, you can't assume that it hit 20,000 that it's going to hit 21,000 in a month." She was like, "There could be a massive sell-off," and I'm just like, "You could be a fucking fear monger."
She could be short.
Yeah. That's a suspiciously flat shoes.
Well, you know, you can never tell which way the market is going to go, but you can. It just seems like it's basically going to go almost nowhere. You know, at least because unless it's in somebody's interest to go somewhere. You know, so I was reading about it on like somebody's dead lobby the other night. I don't know if anyone was interested. I was just reading an article from 24 Hour Gold.
The stocks that are going up are tech, steel, piping manufacturers, you know, and the energy sector, all the things that are involved in the new pipeline.
Yeah, well, it's already like 90% complete. So, you know, what the hell?
Finish the damn thing off.
Left is there to build, you know? They just need to build a pipeline over the parts that will fuck up the environment, I guess. So.
Yeah, because it's definitely not because of the reservation that, yeah, okay, it's in the vicinity of, but it's not in it.
Well, you know, they could start to build the pipelines, then there could be an Indian attack.
Yeah. So this is the biggest one we make. It's large.
I'm not joking, but okay. I'm sorry, what? Oh, you're showing me computer.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to build one small and one big one today. This one ends up weighing 61 pounds when it's all said and done, which is great because I sprained my neck over the weekend. So lifting it's going to be a chore.
60 pounds isn't that bad. Come on.
Oh, I got to wrestle it into a box and then take it to the warehouse. But yeah, you're right. It's not that bad. It's just when you can't turn your head more than 20 degrees to your right. It's kind of shitty. but I'll deal. It's only the one. It's eyes. My boss has this theory that the mafia is controlling the NBA. And I used to write it off as just paranoia.
The mafia.
After seeing, bookies and things like that. And I told him, I said, you might be right after this week, because I looked at all the teams that lost in the last 2 days. They're like the best teams in the league, and they're losing to the worst teams in the league by wide margins. Like the Clippers lost to the 76ers last time. Like, what the fuck? What was the over-under on that?
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So who's going to win the Super Bowl? I mean, Atlanta has a really good defense, though. So I don't know if they could find a way to shut Brady down.
Nah, it's going to be the Patriots, always. That's America's team, man. Fuck Dallas.
Well,
and it's not the team that's the problem, it's the owner.
Atlanta has a good defense, so I don't know.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it won't be like a one-sided rollover.
Yeah, if I was Atlanta, I would just have a play where everybody lets they let Tom Brady throw the ball, and then everybody just piles on. Takes one 15-yard penalty and one player ejected or something, and then they play the rest of the game with, Tom Brady's arm broken or something.
I heard a story the other day that they're willing to trade Garoppolo, but the price is going to be high, right? So I thought, well, I guess that means that they must have a verbal agreement with Brady that he's going to stay longer than the 2 years he originally said he would. Which would be interesting because, I mean, if he still got it, why walk away from it? He's not taking excessive hits. He's not excessively injured or anything. He's not injury prone, so might as well. And if they end up like trading him to the Texans or something, because the Texans are always well known for taking New England's leftovers and secondaries. So we end up with Garoppolo.
Wait, you're calling Brady a leftover?
No, Garoppolo. We took their backup quarterback like 3 seasons ago, and he ended up being a bust. We took their assistant head coach.
Well, I thought the Texans did pretty good this year.
Yeah, another first-round exit. To the Patriots, no less.
Yeah, well.
Our defense is okay. They got Romeo Crennel running it, which is good. Problem is, Brian Cushing always gets injured. He has like chronic knee problems all the time. J.J. Watt was out for a good part of the season because of his back issues. Jadeveon Clowney, he's getting better. He needs refinement, but this is already his second season in the bag. Our biggest problem is our offensive line is garbage. It's always been garbage. Half the quarterbacks we traded off or let go probably would have done a lot better if they actually had a defense or an offensive line that can keep them protected. And then Vince Wilfork just retired. So we're back to square one. We still got Bill O'Brien, which I think is the progenitor of all our problems in the first place.
I really don't follow the Patriots that closely, so I don't really know who the hell you're talking about. But.
Oh, that was the Texans I was talking about. Patriots, they're solid. They're solidly owned, they're solidly coached, they're solidly staffed. Yeah, they have controversy here and there, but who doesn't?
Deflate gate.
I have to move my camera around. Anyway.
Yeah, I saw like a infomercial on late night TV for like a mobile emergency tire inflator, for your car or truck, and you can also you digitally type in the pressure you want the tire to be at, and it'll pump air until it reaches that pressure exactly. And they said it's also great if because you can get into trouble if your football is improperly inflated. And I was like,
they went there.
They went there on this infomercial.
Fantastic.
Looked like a good prepping item, to stick in your car.
Yeah, if the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year, it's going to be one gigantic fuck you to Roger Goodell. Hey, you took the guy away for 4 games and they still won the bowl.
Yeah, I saw something on Zero Hedge that they had some clickbait that I didn't click on the real reason they didn't want they banned Tom Brady for 4 games. There's some hidden conspiratorial reason why they actually banned him for 4 games. I didn't click on it, so I don't know what it is. But
give the poor guy a break.
Poor guy. Yeah. He's fucking rich. Are you kidding me?
Had to spend some time with his supermodel wife. Shit, this microphone's sensitive. Yeah, today's supposed to be day 3 at the White House, and Trump is supposed to sign some sort of executive order to begin the process of building the wall.
Well, he needs funding from Congress, so.
I'm really surprised he didn't take Hannity as his White House press secretary. I guess that would have been too obvious. He took Spicer.
Well, I think that girl his top White House counselor went on Hannity last night or something. I mean, it was just it was so funny when in that one debate where he got in trouble where he was calling, "Where's Sean Hannity?" It was like, oh no, yeah. 911 Sean or something.
It was like he was the only one that was putting out or what he thought was factual information at the time. And he was like, how come all the rest of you media outlets don't do that? But then again, I mean, there was some truth to that. I'm surprised there isn't like a witch hunt to discredit and close down all these, news institutions or whatever.
Well, if they put Sean Hannity, I just can't imagine him as a press secretary. He would just walk into the room, and he would just insult each and every person in the room, and then he wouldn't take any questions and leave. He's like, oh, do you want to ask a question? Okay, first let me get the FBI file on you out and read it. Oh, that's interesting. Your phone rang? Okay, take your time. You go fill up my second cup of coffee. Well, you've got double vision here. There's 2 Sean Connerys on there, so. Wait, I'm not supposed to read internals on the air. I got in trouble for that. But it says phone rang. It drops me out from Hangouts when I do the call. While I do the call. I'm going to go refill my coffee cup. I'll be right back. All right, so healthy breakfast for today will be a kashi organic quinoa, corn, and roasted pepper bar. I think I won't. I'll mute the mic so you don't have to hear me eating it. So to coincide with the Obama administration giving the Hamas, or no, the Palestinian Authority, not the Hamas, the Palestinian Authority, $220 million. The Hamas just was reported that they have like several hundred North Korean laser-guided anti-tank missiles. That's to know where our taxpayer dollars are going. North Korea. What the heck? Well, that Kashi bar was okay, I guess. Hey, Dusty One. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Having my second, or about had an extra half a cup of coffee, and I had a Kashi bar, corn, quinoa, and red pepper Kashi bar for breakfast. It's easy.
I've had my usual pot of coffee, and I just decided to take a break for a while and sit down.
Yeah. Take a break from what?
Today, basically, I've been on the phone for 2 or 3 hours, and I've been working on some paperwork. I've 99s done, and so I just walked outside and got on this computer for a while.
Tasks.
Yes, it's not
Death
my
and taxes.
favorite time of the year.
I gotta do them. So Dow hit 20,000. It's like 50 points over it or something.
Looked at that myself, but the commodity markets are falling today. So
I think I saw oil was down a little, so, but and it was weird because like it looks like somebody pressed the button on paper silver shorts because it's like they just it's just like there's these straight down lines, a couple of almost straight down lines in a very short amount of time. It's like somebody's throwing a few 1,000 sell orders for vapor silver that doesn't really exist on the COMEX or something. And so it goes down, it goes straight down, then it trades sideways, then straight down. It's been creeping back up a little bit. It's basically going nowhere, until they decide it's going to go somewhere. Until JP Morgan.
I guess we are approaching the end of the month, so they probably do have to make their paper correct.
I don't think their paper will ever be correct. I don't think they have to make their paper correct. JP Morgan doesn't need to make their paper correct.
Well, and we also deregulated the market, so they actually have to exist. They can trade it on paper.
Well, not in Shanghai and not in Abu Dhabi. It has to be real and backed by something real. You can't just do paper trades there. It has to close the vault. The vault has to see the actual metal exchange. At the end of the day, you can't do it there. So there'll be some kind of arbitrage eventually between the Shanghai and Abu Dhabi exchanges and all the paper markets. Eventually. Not sure exactly how that's going to work. Just looking at the spot price, but it'll all be rigged somehow. Like JP Morgan. Or Deutsche Bank.
Yeah, and really, if you want to do some paperwork, you can trace a lot of our economy back to when regulate our markets.
I don't really want to do any paperwork. Let's see what crazy things they posted on Zero Hedge today. Zero Hedge. On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0. Google permanently bans 200 fake news sites. All right, I'll click on that clickbait article. The crackdown has begun. In a blog post by Scott Spencer, Director of Product Management for Sustainable Ads, posted on Wednesday, Google said it has banned 200 publishers from accessing its AdSense advertising service for posting fake news stories. Google said it had cracked down on sites which contained 1, ads for illegal products. I assume that means guns. 2, misleading ads. 3, bad ads on mobile. 4, ads trying to game the system. And 5, promoting and profiting from bad sites. The emphasis was on the so-called fake news category, which has dominated media buzz for the past 2 months. This is how Spencer
CNN
explained his action. Well, this is Google. In 2016, we saw the rise of tabloid cloakers. Tabloid cloakers, a new type of scammer that tries to game our system by pretending to be news. Cloakers often take advantage of timely topics, a government election, a trending news story, or popular celebrity, and their ads can look like headlines on a news website, but when people click on that story about Ellen DeGeneres and aliens, they go to a site selling weight loss product, not a news story. We've had a long-standing policies prohibiting AdSense publishers from running ads on sites that help people deceive others, like a site where you buy fake diplomas or plagiarize term papers. In November, we expanded on these policies, introducing new AdSense misrepresentative content policy that helps us take action against website owners misrepresenting who they are and that deceive people with their content. Google has faced criticism over its handling of fake news stories, including allowing a fake news website to rise to the top of its results, displaying an incorrect story claiming that the President Trump had won the popular vote. Oh, God. This is about
technically
crowd
he
size.
did win the popular vote because they estimated 3 million illegals voted, and that's exactly the margin that he would have technically have lost the popular vote by. So there it is.
So, is that the fake news story that you read that they're complaining about?
I guess.
In his post explaining how Google attempted to crack down on bad ads, sites, and scammers, Spencer explained that Google had expanded its policies against misleading websites in November, leading to the crackdown. In total, Google took down 1.7 billion ads that they found in violation of their policies in 2016, more than double the 780 million they removed in 2015.
I wonder how many of those were Brownells ads.
We took action on 47,000 sites for promoting content and products related to weight loss scams. I don't think Brownell sells weight loss formulas.
They took down websites that had Rosie O'Donnell that led to weight loss scams.
We took action on more than 15,000 sites for unwanted software that disabled 900,000 ads for containing malware. We suspended around 6,000 sites and 6,000 accounts for attempting to advertise counterfeit goods like imitation designer watches.
Oh, I can't get my fake Bugatti Veyron watch anymore.
Fake Rolex.
Fake Breitlings. Damn.
Some of the more conventional bans were the result of Google adding a policy mid-year prohibiting ads for payday loans considered predatory. Roughly 5 million payday loan ads were disabled over the latter 6 months of 2016. Also removed ads were what Google calls tabloid cloakers. These advertisers run what look like links to news headlines, but when the user clicks, an ad for a product such as weight loss supplement pops up. All right, well, whatever. Ooh, this is one that looks interesting. More clickbait. Head of investigations at Russia's biggest cybersecurity firm arrested for treason. What may be the latest fallout from the cold cyber war taking place between U.S. and Russia, the head of the investigation unit and one of the most important cybercrime experts at Kaspersky Lab, Russia's biggest cybersecurity firm, was arrested on charges of treason. Stoyanov was involved in every big anti-cybercrime operation in Russia in the past years, including the one against the components of the Lurk cybercrime gang.
Look, 3 weeks.
Kaspersky confirmed to AP reports in Russia's Kommersant newspaper. Sure, I butchered that pronunciation. That Russian Stoyanov, head of its computer incidents investigation units, was arrested in December. The arrest may be linked to the investigation into Sergei Mikhailov, deputy head of information security department of the FSB, the Russian National Security Service. Stoyanov and Mikhailov were both arrested in December. According to Kommersant, the investigation was exploring the receipt of money from foreign companies by Stoyanov and his links to Mikhailov. Mikhailov is also facing treason charges alongside Stoyanov. Kaspersky spokesman Maria Shirokova said in a statement that Stoyanov's arrest has nothing to do with Kaspersky Labs and its operations.
Sounded a bit like a brush off. Everything's just fine.
No problem, comrade.
Don't worry. What happened to the guy? Oh, he's mining salt, watering his wife's
She
hair.
said the company has no details on the charges Stoyanov faces, but added the investigation dates back to the time before Stoyanov was hired by Kaspersky. According to Forbes, the arrest may be a matter of national security. A Russia-based information security source told Forbes the details of the case were likely to remain private. The case had been filed under Article 275 of Russia's criminal code, the source says, meaning it should result in a secret military tribunal. Article 275 allows the government to prosecute when an individual provides assistance to a foreign state or organization regarding hostile activities to the detriment of the external security of the Russian Federation. According to the source, this can be applied broadly. For instance, furnishing the FBI with information on a botnet may amount to treason.
You see, if Obama was still in power and that was happening, he would give this guy political asylum, just like they're doing with Edward Snowden.
No, but you don't understand. So they're implying that the FBI hired this Russian to spy on Russia. So they're not going to give this guy asylum. They'll put him in a gulag somewhere.
What do you-
Before Stoyanov joined Kaspersky in 2012, he served 6 years as the Ministry of Interior Cybercrime Unit between 2000 and 2006. Then he moved into the private sector. Whilst Stoyanov was working for the Russian government, he was the lead investigator into a hacker crew that extorted $4 million to UK betting shops under the distributed denial of service threat. U.S. intelligence agencies have accused Russia of meddling in the U.S. presidential election to help Trump win, claims that Russia has rejected. U.S. and EU officials have also accused Russia of hacking other Western institutions and voiced concern that Russia may be trying to influence this year's elections in Germany, France, and the Netherlands. So Merkel and in France, yeah, I guess Marie Le Pen is running. It wasn't immediately clear if the arrests are somehow linked to these allegations. The FSB's press office did not comment on the arrest. Meanwhile, Andrei Soldatov, whose name I also must have butchered, who has studied the internet and Russian security services for more than a decade, called the arrest of the Kaspersky manager unprecedented. Quote, it destroys a system that has been 20 years in the making. A system of relations between intelligence agencies and companies like Kaspersky. He told the Associated Press. Intelligence agencies used to ask for Kaspersky's advice, and this is how informal ties were built. The romance is clearly over. While Kaspersky has published research damaging to Russian hacking operations, Eugene Kaspersky is known to have held a friendly racial relationship with the Russian government. The company has a strong international presence, including antivirus research facilities inside the United States. It remains unclear if today's arrest has any connection to the, quote, Russian election hacking, unquote, scandal that has brought U.S.-Russian relations to a halt in the last days of the Obama administration. All right.
So how soon do you think he's going to have Putin over at the White House?
As soon as they figure out how to bug the place. Really, the main thing that Trump needs to do is get Putin to return the Super Bowl, Robert Kraft Super Bowl ring that he stole.
Right.
In the interest of U.S.-Russian relations.
We need that skull fragment back from Adolf Hitler that you have locked away somewhere.
No, I'm seriously. You see, just say, Trump should just say, he should just tweet it. I understand that Super Bowl ring has been on loan from Patriots owner Robert Kraft, and we would like it back.
How do we know he just didn't buy it from Rick Harrison at Pawn Stars?
Because he stole it in plain view of the owner. I complained about it. You're the football expert, don't you know that?
Nope.
That was big
keep up with
news.
jewelry. I don't even wear jewelry. It feels awkward. So I wonder if there'll be a third day of White House press briefings. It should start in about 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so should I find another article from Zero Hedge?
Is it not going to get blocked as fake news?
Yeah, Gunchannels is going to be blocked as a fake news site if I keep reading that shit.
Yeah, you're going to have to fact check it against The Onion or something.
The Onion, yeah. Oh, anybody here from Texas?
That's a dumb question. What's going on in my great state?
Austin becomes ground zero for sanctuary city battle as Texas governor vows to cut state funding.
Yes, I heard about that this morning. He's actually threatening to remove the elected sheriff, a woman, if I'm not mistaken, from office for disobeying his direct orders, which I think he does have the power to do.
Late last week, according to Austin American Statesman, the newly elected sheriff of Travis County, Texas, Sally Hernandez, vowed to limit cooperation with U.S. immigration and customs enforcement officials, saying that she would only honor immigration holds for suspects booked into the Travis County jail on charges of capital murder, aggravated sexual assault, and continuous smuggling of persons. Traditionally, the county has honored nearly all requests from ICE enforcement to hold a suspect booked into jail when agents have wanted to investigate their status further. However, effective February 1st, the sheriff's official will honor the so-called immigration holds or detainers placed by federal authorities only when a suspect is booked into Travis County on charges of capital murder or aggravated sexual assault and continuous smuggling of persons. Otherwise, federal agents must have a court order or arrest warrant signed by a judge for the jail to continue housing a person whose immigration status is in question, according to Hernandez's policy, which he released Friday. The public must be confident that law enforcement is focused on local public safety, not federal immigration enforcement. Our jail cannot be perceived as a holding tank for ICE, or that Travis County deputies are ICE officers, Hernandez said in a video announcement. Of course, a declaration from Hernandez drew an immediate reaction from Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who promptly promised to cut state funding for rogue Travis County and take steps to enact stiffer penalties. Sounds like some kind of sexual assault. Stiffer penalties? All right.
Cut the funding. That's already been done.
According to Bogota, the Travis County Police Department receives $1.8 million in annual grants from the state of Texas. That said, at roughly 1% of their overall police budget, we suspect that the funding shortfall won't be sufficient deterrent for Travis County's defining new sheriff. Abbott, Republican, is directed to hold $1.8 million in state law enforcement grants. This is not a pronouncement of sound public policy. It's a dangerous game of political Russian roulette. Go the Russians again. With the lives of Texans at stake, Abbott wrote in a letter to Hernandez on Monday. Unless you reverse your policy, your unilateral decision will cost the people of Travis County money, which was meant to be used to protect them. Of course, Trump also repeatedly vowed during his campaign to cut federal funding for sanctuary cities, a move that is expected to be officially confirmed later today, along with a series of other national security initiatives. Oh, so it's not just going to be the wall, it's going to be the sanctuary cities today? All right. During a visit to the Department of Homeland Security. Let's see. With that, it seems time has come for many of America's liberal cities to A, get used to policing their streets with smaller budgets, or B, actually start enforcing laws. Well, that'll be the day. All right, so are we going to be banned for fake news now?
We'll be flagged for it. They'll only slap my hand once.
Boy, nobody's typing anything in the Gunchannels text.
I know, man. It's like I had the anti-lobby Musk on this morning or something. See what happens when you don't get an early watch? Oh, fucking hell break, please.
All right. Let's see what else the hell is there.
batteries. Both my mice batteries have died. Really?
I have the USB mouse. You don't have a USB mouse? Use batteries?
Well, I'm
You have
testing a couple of them.
You have a cordless or something?
Yeah. I've got a Razer one that I'm testing because it came back as defective, and I can usually fix these things for less than like $1 or $2.
Yeah, I tried wireless mouse once, but when I was using it when I used to play World of Warcraft, but it wasn't reliable enough, you know.
Latency in wireless is shit for gaming.
It was just a matter of it would like freeze up or die, you know, at the worst possible time, you know, and a whole raid could get wiped, you know, and then you have like 40 mad fucking people at you on the internet that are like ready to murder you. You know, it's like if you cause a wipe on a boss or something.
The good old days. You'd run an instance. You'd get like 40 people together. You get about a quarter of the way through it, 10 people leave. You get another quarter way through it, 10 people leave. You get 3/4 of the way through it, and people are like, "I gotta go. My mommy's yelling at me." And then another 10 people leave. You get to the final part of it. You got 10 guys left.
Yeah, or the classic, my wife demands that I stop playing Warcraft. Have sex with her or something. My wife won't leave me alone. Or
kicked her night elf ass out of my house.
My problem was, I'd be fighting or in an inside. I usually did PvP, so I'd be fighting, and then the mouse would die in the middle of an arena. Like, oh fuck!
It's the only way to stop rogues.
Well, I've decided not to go back to World of Warcraft because I only have, let's say I have 50 years left to live. I don't want to spend like half of it playing World of Warcraft. So, several anti-Trump protesters climbs crane near Trump Hotel in D.C.
What was the banner that they hung? Because I didn't get to see a picture of that.
It says resist. Here, let's see.
Resisting arrest?
No, it just said resist.
No, but that's probably what they're getting busted for. Oh, thank God, the headache from my hangover is finally going away.
Let's see if I can manage to screen share this picture.
I found it. I'm back in front of my computer at the shop. Bright yellow thing hanging off of it.
Yeah, I just screen shared it, but I don't know if you can see it because the screen share thing hasn't been working for me. I can't see what I screen share.
Sometimes it happens with Google. There it is. It's working now.
Can you see
I wonder
it?
how much Soros paid for that.
Can you see it though through the Google thing? Okay.
Yeah. How much do you think Soros paid to have that made?
I don't know. It looks professional.
Yeah, that's why I think he had someone make it. He had to. Okay, he had to pay someone to make it. He had to pay people to hang it. He had to pay the crane company to look the other way.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend who actually operates those, and he said there is no way somebody can just walk up and climb one of those things. They've got those things locked down.
At least 7 protesters are climbing a crane downtown Washington construction site that had just a few blocks away from the White House, according to AP. Metropolitan Police Department spokesman Akita Brown said the police responded to the area of 15th and L Streets in the Northwest Wednesday morning for a disorderly person. Brown says protesters, possibly 7 people, are at the site climbing a crane and refusing to allow workers to work in the area. 6 people can be seen on the horizontal arm of the crane with ropes connecting them. Some of the people on the crane have objects hanging from the ropes attached to them. And they did a live feed of it too, so. It was like they streamed it on Facebook or something.
Nature has a way of correcting itself. A Michigan man whose drug-related prison sentence was commuted by the former president was shot dead this week at a federal halfway house.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one. That was funny.
Apparently, freedom tastes like lead. They called it an execution-style hit. 2 men entered the building with assault-style rifles and demanded they were looking for this person. It was a targeted attack. No shit. I wonder who he owed money to.
France launches probe if presidential frontrunner Fillon paid wife for fake work. French financial prosecutors said Wednesday that they'd opened a preliminary probe into the possible misuse of public funds following a press report about conservative presidential candidate Francois Fillon's wife working for him as parliamentary assistant. The frontrunner in the April-May election has acknowledged his wife Penelope had worked for him when he was a legislator, but has fiercely denied the report in La Cagnard and Chan. I know I mispronounced that. Where's Bernadette when I need her?
They're calling again.
That they said she earned a big salary for work she never did. The latest scandal to rock the French establishment follows a French newspaper report which alleged that Welsh-born Penelope Fillon, the wife of Francis Fillon, who is a front-runner to become the next president of France, was paid €500,000 with funds made available to her husband by the French Parliament. The British-born wife of French president candidate was paid around $538, just about €500,000, over 10 years from parliamentary funds made available to her husband, the report said Tuesday. The Cagnard and Chani, which mixes satire with investigative reporting, detailed various periods during which Penelope was paid from money available to her husband as longstanding MP for the Central Sarthe region. Hiring family members is not against the rules as long as the person is genuinely employed, but the newspaper said it had been unable to track down witnesses of her work. I should have Bernadette read this because it would sound sexy if she did. There's no, this scandal sucks basically because there's no like extramarital sexual relations happening. It's just money. All right.
Yeah, this is definitely a slow time of year for my business because all my vendors are calling saying, "Can we sell you something?" Like, you already do. We already have an account with you. Oh, sorry. Every damn time.
Well, yeah, you know, times get slow. People call up asking for extra contracts, and it's just because the business is slow, slows up.
Well, it's not really slow for us. I guess it's slow for the suppliers. And then they're like, "Hey, we got this new stuff." I'm like, "Send it. Put it in when I can." Looks like another Allman brother died. Or the drummer for the Allman Brothers died. Found dead at his home at 6 p.m. Foul play not suspected.
What is behind today's market euphoria? JP Morgan explains. Today's investors are still focused on the big three of tax reform, deregulation, and infrastructure spending. So this is a wall rally. This is officially now a wall rally. He's building the wall. That counts as infrastructure. So between deregulation, tax reform, and the wall, that's what put us over 20.
All right. Result.
Winning.
Concrete and rebar stock skyrocket.
Well, that's no shit. I mean, the guy who installed, the tech that did all the soldering to do the install in my studio, he wasn't that good of a tech or anything, but he could do soldering, okay, and it was like when there was a big earthquake in California, he had a concrete company, and concrete prices went through the roof after the big earthquake, and he just made millions, literally. His concrete, went up in value by a factor of 1,000. So, because people had to redo all their foundations in the entire city, so it was like gold rush. People would pay any amount of money for concrete now. I need the concrete, and I need it now. So then he bought a nightclub in Hollywood with all the money.
This free Melania movement's retarded.
What?
Like, there's a Twitter thing going on. It's hashtag free Melania because there was a video of her that she looked kind of scared or something, and it was like, she is the most powerful woman in the United States right now.
She doesn't look scared. She looks annoyed by it because she has to be near the press. Is what she looks like. She just looks at the press and
she wants to squash them. You can't like somebody you don't respect. So she knows that the media is just out to get at the family. Like that dude who was bad mouthing.
She just wants to pull out a Glock and shoot all the press.
The dude that was bad mouthing Barron, he got fired, right? And then another one got suspended indefinitely. One of them said that his son looked like a rapist in the making, and then the other one was like, he's going to be the first homeschool shooter or whatever. She got fired.
Bury these people in the concrete under the wall. Pour the concrete in them. Of all the anti-Trump protesters, different parts of the wall.
Just use them as flux when you melt the steel. Just drop them in Terminator style. They can join.
For the pipeline, yeah.
Yeah, they can join Jimmy Hoffa as the bumper of a Cadillac or something. My dad still says that. He's like,
they don't use steel bumpers on Cadillac. They don't use steel for bumpers anymore.
They don't use steel anything anymore.
Well, knives. Blades.
No, I mean for cars.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. I'm just,
Well, it's too heavy.
Now they'll just use protesters as flux for piping and rebar for the wall. Actually, the stock that needs to be watched right now is surveying companies, ground sample study surveys and everything that's going to be down on the southern border. Real estate for the annexation of all the land that's owned by public people. Hawaii lawmakers want to make unlicensed short-term rentals a felony.
Yeah, basically people aren't paying taxes on their vacation rentals, you know, and you're supposed to pay taxes if you rent it out. Like with if like, you know, what are those? What's that like? Internet service for renting out your place.
Oh, you're saying they're just doing it under the table while they're not at their own house, so they're not paying taxes on it. The state wants some of that money.
Yes, and the thing is that, but the state doesn't give the money back to the counties where the taxes come from, so the counties don't feel like enforcing it anyway, because all the money goes to the state, but the state keeps it all. It's like the politics. The state keeps all the money for Oahu, which for their stupid rail project, which is like $12 billion over budget or something, and they don't have the money to finish it, and you know. And the federal government won't let them. If they try and cut out a rail stop to make the line shorter, then the federal government will demand all their money back, and which would be a total disaster because it's already $12 billion over budget, and it's like, you know, Hawaii Rail Transit Authority is just in deep shit, and so is the state, and the roads suck in Hawaii. I mean, in Honolulu. God, when I was there, I mean, whenever I was on a bus traveling anywhere, like it was like, you know, the bumpiest ride. I mean, those roads are like worse than any third world country in Honolulu. Literally, the city roads, it's just like, you know, there's potholes, and you know, like when they rake a great area of pavement before they are supposed to repave it with blacktop or something, they just leave it like that forever. They just grade it, and then, you know, maybe like 5 years later somebody will come in before they get around to putting any, you know, concrete down. So it's just like in between that and the potholes, it's just a flipping nightmare.
Yeah, they usually grade the road about a day or two before they come out and start laying down blacktop. But yeah, the longest I've ever seen one in my area get stuck like that was a week.
And in Hawaii, they because it costs more money to have the road work done at night than during the daytime working hours. They basically shut down. It's basically the freeway and the streets are always closed down during the day, and create these gigantic traffic snarls in the city because they just can't afford. The city doesn't have the money to, you know, pay it to be done at night. You know, and so it's just the government is so broke, and you know, I mean, Hawaii is basically almost like Puerto Rico at this point. So, but the worst island is Oahu. Is just so screwed up. But so when they have a vacation rental, and Big Island here has lots of vacation rentals. You know, if they don't collect the money, if they collect the money, it doesn't. The state won't spend it on anything on the Big Island. They'll just keep it for, you know, Oahu. And Fido collects any money, they won't spend it on back in Kona where they could get all that stuff money from. It's just, you know, politicians, you know, fucking everyone up over, but that's nothing new.
So there's pictures of guys dressed up as giant penis costumes saying that they're going to infiltrate the women's marches. I like that. This one dude hired a plane to do a flying banner over a women's march that says, "Where's my damn dinner?" This is awesome.
No, what's for dinner? What should say? What's for dinner?
Where's my damn dinner? What was it? I'm trying to remember her name. She was on handy all the time. Shit, give me a sec. I'll have to look it up.
I didn't know your last name was McCoy.
Yep.
Okay, so then now you have to say he's dead, Jim, at least once.
No. I can't do that accent.
You don't have to get the accent right.
I always have to do it right.
You just have to get the pause at the right time. He's dead.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a scientist. Fuck, what's her name? She's on all the damn time.
What if Dr. McCoy had to work for like an Obamacare managed program?
Oh yeah, see, every news site that preaches on about Obamacare needs to be taken down as fake news too. That's clickbait. So apparently the photo before the Clinton death stare to her husband for checking out Ivanka, someone took a picture of her on her phone, and it was like, Hillary Clinton spotted at inauguration event still deleting emails.
Oh. Still deleting email. That's too rich.
Yep, same blue phone cover too.
I'm switching back to 24-hour gold. Some sanity regarding the housing market. Housing should be used for shelter, not speculation.
Oh, I should post the link again. It's been a while. There you go.
Well, if you want people to pay attention, you need to ask a guess that gun question or something.
Oh, I wonder if Night Strike actually got to use my guess that guns that I sent him yesterday. I gave him some seriously obscure shit. Nah, I'll save those just in case he hasn't done them yet.
Oh, here's a food for thought. There is no subtler, no surer means of overturning the existing basis of a society than to debauch the currency. Keynes.
He didn't do anything too obscure. Oh, so I guess he did do some guess that guns. He's probably not doing mine because he knows that nobody's gonna get them. I just wanted to see Angry like lose his shit trying to figure it out.
No, I gave up on that contest because I think I won one time or something, and then I can never win any ever again.
Your Google foo is weak.
Well, it was strong for one day, and then, but then I think you protested my win or something. So on some basis, so I never applied for the patch or whatever it is you're supposed to win. So it's just, you know.
I've only thrown the challenge flag at Dano like twice. And then I got buttercupped, so I was like, it's cool, man. I'm just fucking
Companies scramble to avoid the Trump tweet.
It's the quickest way to get a hold of him. Put @POTUS in your tweet, he'll read it.
The Wall Street Journal reports Walmart touts plans to create 10,000 jobs in the U.S. I'm sure there'll be like minimum wage, but
McCain warns Trump about bringing back torture. I don't know how I feel about that. We're not in an official war. We're fighting enemies that constantly do not abide by any rules. So why should we? This moral high ground thing is stupid. And the justification is if it saves American lives, so be it.
Well, I said I would just take all the Guantanamo detainees and throw them out of an airplane and release them except from 30,000 feet over the ocean.
Costs fuel. That's too much fuel, man. Conga line them into a wood chipper.
Conga line?
Yeah, man. Fucking, you tie them on the end of a rope. You string them 10 feet apart.
How about just a rumba line?
You feed the rope into the wood chipper and it starts pulling them in very slowly. Once the first guy goes through, the rope starts grabbing the second guy. By the time you get to the fourth guy, he's singing.
I would like them to have like a moment or two to contemplate all the sins of their life as they fall from 30,000 feet until they hit the water.
Well, that's why you give them 10 feet of rope to drag in. You got to put that feed on nice and slow. And if you really want to insult them, you have the shredding go into.
I'll even be nice. I'll throw them out of the airplane and I'll give them a parachute. But since it'll be out at sea, they'll just eventually drown.
That's
If it's nicer just to throw them out of the plane, then they die as soon as they hit the water.
I still think the fuel costs are too high.
I'll give them the choice. It's like, would you like a parachute or not? No, of course they'll say yes. If they say yes, give them a fucking parachute. Let them drown in the water.
Just give them a parachute that's just slightly too small for their weight bearing, so it doesn't actually slow them down.
You want them to live and hit the water alive, and then be in the ocean and die of exposure or drowning or just
What if you bungee corded them with a rope that was 6 inches too long?
Give them a bunch of like peanuts so they'll be like really thirsty, and then they'll drink the salt water, and it won't help.
That just costs too much.
The peanuts?
Government gator farm. When the gator dies from eating too much, belts, boots, etc. Sharks. I'm telling you, dude. Wood chipper, slow feed, long rope. The shreddings go into a pig trough. Pigs eat them. It's great. What's up, G? Morning. All right, that's enough of torture channels.
Wow. How did we get on that anyway?
The ultimate torture is you just give them 3 hot meals a day made out of pork. That's all you got to do. You play that miserable Easy Street song from The Walking Dead constantly. That'll do it.
Make him listen to the no. Just play on the loudspeakers at Gitmo. Just play like the Macarena over and over.
My Easy Street's way worse. Way worse. You can't dance to that one. So El Chapo's in the country, right? They've extradited him here to the States. And I wonder why the hell didn't they send him to Camp X-Ray? Mexico can't tunnel there. He can't buy off the government there.
Where is Camp X-Ray?
Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, okay. I don't know that's what they
called
called
it. Like the perfect place to put him.
Well, he's not. He actually is, going to face a civilian trial. I think is why. Federal trial, so they'll put him in federal pen.
So we're gonna ferry him around like we did with Noriega. We keep him, then we send him to Nicaragua. He spends 20 years there, and then he has to go to France and spend 30 years there. Is this really better than just executing him and getting it over with? Really? We're gonna feed you for the next 50 years. You're gonna. It's like joining the army. It's like we're gonna feed you for the next 50 years, and you're gonna go all over the world and spend time in all these exotic places, these scenic prisons of France and the scenic
The
prisons of
scenic
Nicaragua.
prisons.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't know
this
if
is a
that's a
whole lot
tour
better.
people would sign up for.
This is so much better than just, 1762 by 39.
Well, I'm sure they had to make a deal.
The cost
For
of
the
the moral high
extradition.
ground is asinine, is what it is. We're no better than him if we kill him. Okay, fine. Spend $7 million to keep him alive for 50 years, whatever. Check my boxing news today. That is one hell of a mouse button.
What, am I clicking? You can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm using my laptop as a mouse pad because I don't have one. So it's right by where the microphone is.
God, this guy's gonna get his head ripped off. No, good.
I spent so much time cleaning up the condo yesterday. I guess I have to mess it up a little today or something. There's still more work cleaning I could do, but I don't know.
Congress must shop at Walmart because they're rolling back all of Obama's gun laws. I read a story this morning that 4 states are going to start selling cars at Walmart. Or Walmarts will sell cars in 4 states. It's a pilot program they're trying.
They're just going to go into the parking lot and sell other people's cars. Here, you want this car? It's yours. Give us your money.
Rolling back this diesel Volkswagen. It's all yours. So El Chapo apparently is in Manhattan. Yeah, it's the best place to put him if he escapes. He can hide amongst 11 million people. That's really fucking brilliant.
Yeah, when there's a prison break to attempt to get him out, they'll kill the maximum amount of people because they're also jammed in there in New York. If they blow up a building anywhere near where he's at in the escape attempt, they'll take out a few thousand people.
Yes, Angry. This is exactly how the start of Escape from New York began. This is the only thing that's shitty about when my boss goes to lunch early. I have to wait for him to get back.
If you're gonna start talking about food, then I'm gonna probably
It's
bail.
Gunchannels time.
No, it's not. All I had was just one kashi, quinoa, red pepper, and corn bar.
7 potential landing spots for Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, let's see if my team is on this list. I doubt it. But... Yeah, this guy, he's called out this article perfectly. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be expensive to whoever signs him or whoever trades for him. Texans will probably have to give up somebody like J.J. Watt, which will never happen. But then this guy responds, unfortunately, all Patriots backup quarterbacks include a warning label that says this quarterback will self-destruct within hours of wearing a new uniform. Hashtag Matt Castle. Hashtag Ryan Mallett. No shit.
Well, I think the Atlanta Falcons do have a chance at the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan is pretty good quarterback, and their defense kind of pretty intense for Atlanta.
Yeah, they made it this far, no doubt. Oh, good. We're not on the list. Thank God.
We're not on the list of fake news yet?
No. 7 teams that Garoppolo might go to. Texans are not on that list.
We're going to have to work harder.
God. Really? My second U.S. Postal pickup of the day. No, not yet, Clay. It's just a matter of time. I think it's going to be on like the 2nd or 3rd of February. I can go get it. I am looking forward to it. I think because of my financial situation with my financial agreements with death this year and car insurance and buying another car and all that.
You have a financial agreement with death?
Yeah. I had an uncle that died, and then my dog died, and I had to, front the money for almost all of it. So it's like all my gun money for the year is gone already.
Lately, I've been spending my gun money on silver and gold, but I don't know how long it'll be till that pays off.
I'm waiting for a meteor.
I'm waiting for the next war.
I'm waiting for a meteor to hit the moon. Just land there. Just not destroy the moon. Just impact the moon, right? And then NASA discovers that the meteor was made out of something like 600 million tons of pure gold.
No, there is a meteor like that. There's actually a story about that it's like there's like a meteor that is like made out of like, however many tons of precious metals and stuff. So, but it would cost a fortune to go and mine it and then bring it back.
Yeah, we're not technologically at that phase. We're still too busy fighting amongst ourselves.
Well, we could do it. It would cost too much.
Right, because we're too busy fighting amongst ourselves. I mean, if we had
however many tons of gold they would get out of it.
Like, we can't get there fast enough. We can't dig it out quick enough. The crew rotation would be forever. It's just, we're not quite there yet. But I would imagine that there will be a time where humanity will do that. They will go out and mine asteroids, and they will mine the asteroid belt or whatever, and just get what they need there. It's like a gigantic toy box of minerals out there.
Corporations will do it.
SpaceX.
Until they find that alien that comes back and kills everybody.
They ever figure out what those 3 gigantic 2 mile tall towers are on Mars? They found 3 towers 2 miles tall in a perfect line, perfectly spaced apart, and they haven't explained what it is yet.
It's a Glock factory. They've expanded to Mars.
We found where liberals come from. Wayne Corp. Wayne Corp will do it. Batman will mine asteroids. Fantastic.
I'm Batman.
So Pierce Brosnan is going to be in the second Deadpool, but they didn't say who he would play. Way too old for cable. And that's the person that all the that's the character all the rumors are pointing him towards. Pierce Brosnan as Cable. Come on, man, he's way too old for that shit. Pierce Brosnan would have probably made a good Nick Fury if they didn't use Samuel L. Jackson. He had.
I don't remember the characters. I think I'm gonna take a break and go lay down for a bit.
All right.
Hate to leave you on your own.
It's all right. We're 90 minutes away from the Daily Gun Show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it should be a little dead space before the Daily Gun Show.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about Chinese aircraft carriers. It's really a good subject.
Oh, yeah. So the Chinese first invented what they called the carrier killer missile, and now they're making aircraft carriers. Fantastic.
No, they don't know how to make aircraft carriers. They've never made an aircraft carrier.
Aren't they making the replica Titanic right now?
Maybe that they can do because it's a copy.
Well, the one difference I know that they're going to do is they didn't put the traditional propulsion in there. It's going to have those pods that turn under the hull, so they don't really need tugboats.
What happened is they hacked the DOD and they downloaded the plans to the Titanic, so they thought they would build it.
I wonder if that Australian dude's still funding it, because that was his concept.
James Cameron?
No. There was an Australian billionaire. He was funding the project to
Rupert Murdoch?
Replica Titanic. No.
Rupert Murdoch.
And it was supposed to launch on the 100th anniversary, which I think he's, 3 years behind schedule now?
Who the hell would want to go on a ship that launched on the 100th anniversary of a disaster where all the passengers got killed?
Well, technology won't allow that to happen this time.
Oh, right. Technology will save us. Russia will probably hack. So the Titanic will be hacked.
There's no iceberg.
And pointed at an iceberg.
Pacific.
They'll find one. Global warming.
The Chinese will build one. They'll build the ship, and they will build the iceberg, and they will send them together.
Russia has a deal with ExxonMobil to do their Arctic drilling, so they'll just, separate
break
off
a couple of pieces off.
Yeah, pieces of ice and send them down, and launch them put them in the path of the Titanic. Be like, how did this get here?
I think it says status abandoned, but I read a story that they're going to pick up where they left off. Clive Palmer.
I really need to go lay down, dude. See you later.
All right, man. Clive Palmer is one of them. And he is the chairman of the Blue Star Line, so I guess he has some street cred. But the Chinese clone isn't the same ship. It's an actual second project. I'd go on it, I guess. I wouldn't mind sailing on that. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I have this geeky fantasy of owning the USS Missouri, actually. Like, I would just recommission the USS Missouri, and I'd be a privateer and escort cargo ships from the southern tip of South Africa across the Indian Ocean. That way, if there was any Somali pirates still acting in the area, I would just shell their border or shell their beach. If you send a boat, I'm going to send some 16-inch shells back in your direction. Make you turn around and go check on your wives. It'd be awesome. Like, hey, Pag Lloyd, yeah, I'll give you an escort for $9 million a day. Guaranteed your shit will make it where it's going. Dude, Matt would be my co-captain. He'd either be the co-captain or he would be actually running the fire control system. Like, no, Matt, no. Aim at Somalia. Leave Egypt alone. There are no aliens there, I promise. Ah, okay. Sean Spicer is actually doing a daily briefing now. See, day 3, new announcements. Leave it up to Yahoo to make their own stream link not work. Train crashes through FedEx truck. Watch it be a truckload of the stuff that I shipped out earlier this week. And I'm gonna get a bunch of angry phone calls at my shop. Where's my shit? I'm like, you are not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. The truck got hit by a train. Your stuff was in it. Sorry. I suspect that this press briefing will be to inform the public that he has indeed signed some immigration orders today. What I think is really funny is I've got people on my Facebook feed who I've known for probably 20 plus years, and I didn't realize that they were flaming liberals or radical flaming liberals as it is these days. And they're posting these, they just put up posts about all sorts of crap, like the sky is falling and everything or whatnot. And one of them was posting about how many executive orders has he signed already? And I'm sitting there going, are you really going to, have a dick measuring contest with the last guy who signed executive orders? Or if you really want to talk about who signed the most of them, I think FDR signed over 9,000 executive orders. So, this is just part of the job. He's not abusing anything. Congress isn't contesting it or complaining about it. So, fuck it. He's got to sign a bunch of them to reverse all the bullshit ones from the last 8 years anyway. Oh, good. I can finally go get lunch. I'm going to put a link down. You guys can join and take over the channel.